This podcast is powered by The Plug.
I would need to take like a shot every like 3 or 4 hours so they don't,
You just
load up on each other.
the man just want like a whiskey IV drip
There you go. A small little taste.
every 3 minutes, just a little
yeah.
drip.
Start to doze off and boom, there you go.
Imagine that. You're just slowly drunk all day.
All day long. I mean, that's what like real potheads, that's what they do. They'll go out to the car, take a hit of the weed a little bit, go back in function.
Because it's a little easier to be high all day than to be drunk.
But that's just it. I don't want to be drunk. Just a little buzz. That's it.
Yeah. That's what the winos outside be saying. I'm just trying to get a little buzz.
Just a little taste. That's it.
All right. You got your drinks?
Let's get one, Tyler.
All right, E, go ahead and light that blunt up, man.
Yes, sir.
Cheers. Here's to y'all, and here's to Samuel L. Jackson. Cause I'm black with a gun and an eye patch, motherfucker. Cheers.
Cheers.
Motherfucker. Cheers.
Motherfucker.
Cheers.
Alright, what we talking about, fellas?
Entanglements.
Hell out of here.
I'm gonna let you do your thing on that, brother. I don't know what you say about that.
You got it.
Nah, Cutter, whose side you on? Jada's or Will?
I don't give a fuck. That shit's retarded. I mean, if you're gonna break up, and y'all just out here playing games, making the world think y'all in love,
Oh, man.
and y'all
They
out
are.
here dicking us.
Hey,
but-
love.
Love is
No, they
different
out
to
here.
everybody, right?
Right.
This is very true, and they don't even wear no wedding rings.
Mm. I didn't
Oh, they
hear
in
you
love.
right. They don't.
It is what it is, man.
They in a
And-
weird love.
And I mean, shit, she pretty much said it, and he kind of confirmed it. It's cheaper to keep her, honestly.
You learn that when you got kids, don't you?
And when you got some shit behind your name behind it, you're like, I mean, I guess I could deal. So who
Like that.
knows? I don't
I
speak
guess
for him.
We both got money, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, see, I mean, I don't speak for him, but I'm not. I mean, I saw all the outrage and all this. Oh, she took advantage of. But then when Will came out and basically confirmed it, and everyone's looking at him like he's some kind of. I mean, they're
Fool.
looking at him like he's some kind of cuck,
Yeah.
right? Like he's a cuckold or whatever, right? But to him, he's like,
I wouldn't with
I
that
mean,
bitch.
fuck, I'm literally worth a couple $100 million. We've been together fucking 2-3 decades, however long they've been together. You know what I'm saying? They kids are grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, he's like, at this point, is it really worth it to just like, to I don't even know how to basically start your whole life over,
Yeah.
like,
reinvest in
and
someone
fucked
else.
up and all type of other shit, or are you just like, you know what, fuck it, man, she's about to do her, I'm gonna do me, and we'll meet up at all the family dinners and shit and all the holidays. But I mean, think about, it's like nobody ever thought it was back when Will first got on Instagram. I mean, I guess she was in some of his videos, but like, this nigga was popping up doing shit for challenges. Remember, he popped up in Belgium on some fucking bridge. Like, you think she went all the way out there to watch this motherfucker jump off a bridge or walk down a bridge or whatever he was doing? Like, no. Like, she was fucking August Alsina. Like, that's what she was doing. And the nigga just had to get out the house. So he went and traveled. And he was going to Wimbledon and doing all that shit because that's shit that Will Smith can do. And we just thought he was living his best life. So how come it comes out now? Because, she was fucking some 20-year-old motherfucker. Like, now he wasn't living his best life and he was doing all that shit because he was hurt. I don't buy
Nah,
that shit.
August is just a lame. That's what it boils down to.
And then
That's
there's
really
that. But
yes.
again,
He should have just kept
Like,
that
just
shit to
keep your
himself.
mouth
Shut
shut.
the fuck
Yeah.
up.
bro, she had
And
him
like
fucking in
Yeah.
the hospital, bro.
when they was sitting there, they basically said this shit is old news.
Old
Why
as
is it coming
fuck.
up now?
Very
He
true.
just was
Very
so
true.
he was so desperate for people to hear about this shit
He
that he
needed
had to bring it.
that
Because he dropped
publicity.
the album.
Yeah.
And now he making songs. It's like, come on, we see what's
Man,
going on.
you
They
try.
ain't even worried about you no more.
August, I don't know if this will ever get to you, but you lame as fuck, man. All you had to do was keep that to yourself. You lame, man.
And now he's trying to capitalize on this moment. It's like, bruh, they married. Get
Yeah.
over it.
It's over.
You'd
I
have,
mean,
But it's
you'd have
just
get
the
okay,
it.
talk
it's
about
just the,
that though. Talk about
it's
that.
just the
Like,
fact of who it is though. Like if it was somebody
Yeah.
else,
I mean, not okay, yes, you're right, who it is, but put yourself in that situation. Let's see if it checks out. You are, 19, 20, whatever, and some fucking married uh I don't know what you want to call cougar. I mean, I guess whatever at the time. But not only that, like she's she's like she's got some status behind her. Like motherfuckers know who she is,
Yeah, man,
and
JK,
she's coming at you
you
like,
put too
yeah,
many
I'm
words on
married,
it.
but
Look, man, I came at you with a proposition. We fucking and let's keep it quiet. That's it.
mm-hmm,
Nothing
mm-hmm,
else to talk about. Now
mm-hmm.
you broke that code, and now it's like man, females
But
now don't even want to fuck dudes now. Like if
but
Hallie came to me right now, Halle Berry's herself was like, "Yo, we fucking. That's it. Shut up." I'm like,
I'm
I'm,
only telling the homies.
I'm not even telling the homies.
but again, why
No,
tell?
y'all
That's
gonna
what I'm
know
saying.
if you
Why
fucking Halle
tell?
Berry.
And
I'm
here's
not
my
telling
whole thing. Like,
nobody.
here's you see why motherfuckers get the NDAs and shit now.
Mm-hmm.
Those
Mm-hmm.
non-disclosure agreements and all that because of shit like this. But it's like,
Yeah, I can't trust you to shut your mouth. Yeah.
is it really that hard to keep your mouth shut? Is it? Like, that's what I'm saying.
When you
Go back and put yourself when you're 20. Would you be so emotionally fucked up because you're sleeping in a married woman's bed? Like when you're 20, were you thinking like that?
Hell no.
That you can't even perform. You going on stage, passing out and shit, and these motherfuckers got to rush you to the hospital for panic attacks. Like, did you think that way when you were 20? Because I'm looking back and I'm like, I don't know if I was on that shit when I was 20. Like, I don't know
But
But
if
it's
I was
for
that.
you're talking
it's
about
for
something.
attention, bro. It's for
Yeah.
clout.
You
You
talking about
drop the
something.
album and you need them clicks.
Yeah.
That's nasty,
Yeah,
man.
you gotta
That's what
understand
I'm
though, Jake
saying.
Harry. Hollywood is a hell of a drug. And I will give him that. That Hollywood may have fucked him up. But then
I
I
don't give
bet
them shit
nah.
because think about all the people that ain't talking.
Yeah.
You ain't see Trey Songz popped up talking about I fucked her too. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Like you don't see none of these niggas. You think August Alsina was the only one? Like
Yeah,
really?
nah, he was
And
he was
then Will they both basically admitted that while they was on break, Will was fucking everybody.
yeah.
so you
He
trying
Like
to tell
was.
me all you had to do was have a little panic attacks, almost lose your life, and Jada's gonna let you knock that down.
I mean,
That's all you need.
they but they were on some like she was like taking
she
care of
did
him, like nursing him back to
That's what
health.
I'm
And I'm
saying.
like,
So
what kind of
she did kind of
relationship?
like I will say if the roles was reversed and that was Will and
Mhm.
he was like knocking down Janae Aiko or some shit, this would be a different story.
of
Because they'll be
course,
like, oh,
of
it was a
course.
predator, it's predatory behavior. I mean, she did say this little nigga was sick and needed help and we smashed him.
So
that's,
so
that's
in the first place, do you think Will knew exactly what was going on when it first started, or you
yeah.
think
I
he
mean,
just
He said he
probably
was done
walked
with her.
in? He
Yeah, at
he
that
walked
was
in
point,
while she
done.
was
He was
taking
Will
care
done.
wasn't
of him.
there. Will clocked out.
He
Yeah,
was
he didn't
done.
care.
So the story that I got was Jada cheated on Will, and that's what
Hmm.
made Will clock out. And then she got with August.
That's what they
So this
said,
shit don't even
basically.
matter. We should be worried about the first nigga.
That's what. Thank
I
you.
mean,
Exactly,
Thank
Cutter.
you.
Exactly.
we
Why
Why
did
worried
did
Will
about
leave
this
in the
other
first
nigga.
place?
Why did Will
but
leave in the first place? Because he made
But
it
look,
clear on the jig. I was done
yeah.
with your ass and said that. And I was like,
But the
oh,
first nigga is quiet, and that's the point.
uh-huh.
That's my point. You don't
There
know
you
who the
go.
first nigga is because he ain't said nothing.
Yeah.
He probably
And
got
then
a nice
everybody
check.
forget. Yeah, everybody forget about and this kind of go back to the superhero shit. Y'all remember Will was fucking old girl that played Harley Quinn? Y'all remember that, huh?
When?
Nah.
Like recently, when they was doing Suicide Squad, they was like a couple, and that's when people were saying that they thought Will and Jada was for sure broke up. You can Google it.
Nah, you got me on that one.
But
No, I didn't
Will
know that
knows how
one.
to just wipe shit out of history.
Mm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can Google it and look it up. I can't remember her name, but
Yeah, I know what you're talking
everybody,
about. Yeah, the
they was
chick from
everywhere together for a long time.
yeah, the chick from shit with Leonardo DiCaprio.
I'm gonna find her name while y'all talk.
but
But yeah, I say
but
that to say August just shouldn't have said nothing.
There you go. Finding two parties that agree, like, yo, this is what it is. When it ends, it's gone.
Yeah.
uh, I don't, so then what is it like? Does that if you because apparently, I mean, the shit that I'm picking up is the fact that August Alsina felt all this guilt and turmoil and all this internal strife that makes him human, so everyone who just would just shut the fuck up and just accept that gift for as long as it keeps giving, are those people what, like monsters or something?
No,
No.
this is where my head is was take Hollywood and their fame and everything out of it. Jada saw this dude was like, hey, you need a little bit of help, whatever, whatever, and she helped him back to health. And once he got back to health, I think they spent so much time together, a little. A little spice came out of it, and they was hooked up a little bit. And I bet you Jada came at him was like, "Yo, this is what it is," and leave it at that. And at the time, August was probably like, "Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. I'm with it. I'm with it." And then, like Graffiti said a second ago, I got an album coming out. So what can I do? Oh yeah, I used to fuck Jada Pinkett. Bet. Let me
But
do this.
this is, dude, that doesn't work anymore. Did you listen to his album?
Nope.
Hell no, I don't even know what it's called.
Did
Nah.
anyone listen to
Yeah.
the fucking album?
It was
No.
bad
So,
form. Bad
and
form.
that's
It's just
only a one trick show. Like,
it's lame as a man, bro.
Yeah.
And the
But
chick's
that's
name was
just what motherfuckers
Margot
do
Robbie,
now.
by the way.
Margot
Margot
Robbie.
Robbie.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's lame as a man. So them aside, let's talk about the actual scenario.
Yeah.
Place ourselves in it, because y'all skipped over an important thing that Will said in that conversation, and they was talking about when they broke up for that little bit of time. He went out and Jada was like, "Oh, you definitely paid me back."
Mm-hmm.
You remember that when he was like, "I'm gonna get payback."
Oh yeah.
She's like, "You definitely pay me back." Basically, Will was like, he went out, fucked everybody he needed to fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Jada did her shit. They came back, and now they stronger than they were. How y'all feel? How y'all feel about that?
No, that sounds
okay,
like a
like,
bunch of bullshit.
why?
You think
Now
so?
they're
After like
stronger.
20,
Come on, man.
20 something years with
They've been
somebody,
together 20 years.
Man, that's a show for us.
it ain't for us.
I
I
don't think
mean,
it's a
like,
show.
Not for
yeah,
us, but I mean, they're entertainers. They're
You don't
entertaining the
think
world with their
You
love
don't
life.
think regular people live their lives that way?
yeah.
Man, I
Like
mean,
your
I guess, but
neighbors, people you
No,
work with.
I'm honestly asking because we all in relationships. So you married for 20 plus years, right? The same person. You know how marriage is.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all realize after a while, okay, we're not really feeling each other like that. But at this point, you done invested damn
so
near 30
much.
years with somebody. You're like,
Mhm,
I still love you. You like, we got kids, we got all this together, but I
mhm.
kind of want to go knock down something else. And then y'all both come to that agreement. Y'all go do what y'all got to do, and then you come back like, all right, well,
Yeah.
you still my
As
wife.
as the non-married one in the group, I'm saying like if it's not even about sex so much. It's just that break so you
Yeah,
can go
yeah.
and clear your mind and then you can
Go be
come
you
back.
for a while.
And yeah, and be a better person. Maybe while I've been in this relationship with you, I
No
couldn't
man
go
wants to
and
know his woman got knocked down by somebody
and
else.
that's
I
why I
don't give a
say
fuck
But
Yeah,
what
you
y'all say.
don't have to
yeah.
yeah,
You're right.
guess.
it's
Like, that's what I'm
So
saying. Like, it's not rocket science.
yeah.
Like, especially nowadays, like, no, if you go out and do some shit, you just kind of, you have to not, how do I put this? It it can't be just impossible to think that she won't do the same. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like it. I don't. I just and it just blows my mind that people like. I mean, I don't know. It's just it. I'm trying to think like how else could it like because again, just like you said earlier, graffiti, had the shoe been on the other foot, for example, and Will did this shit with some fucking 19, 20-year old, yes, we'd all be like, cancel this motherfucker, and blah 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 blah. And
Right.
so that kind of got that whole thing to me kind of got glossed over. Like, damn, like but I never even really would have thought, and maybe that's the whole stigma. I never would even thought that was predatory. I'm just like, yo, that's Jada Pinkett. Like, who fucking cares?
Mm-hmm.
But like,
Mhm.
yes, as a story comes out, now it's like, he was sick, and she was supposed to be caring for him and his mental and all that. I,
But
then
beyond all that, though, like the main thing is they were a married or they are a married couple that took a break, and in that break, they just did what they did within that break.
Mm-hmm.
I think to be able to come back just shows that y'all got a strong bond. Not to be corny, but you know what I mean. Like if
No,
I
no,
could
no.
come
That's
back
it.
after we broke up and you did what you did, and you know I did what I did, and we could just be like, all right,
We straight.
cool,
I
we
mean,
straight.
think of how strong it is. Have you ever broken up with somebody and got back with them?
No.
Yes,
I've never.
You said you
multiple
have, Tyler.
times.
You have?
Multiple times. Yes.
Ooh, explain that. How did that go?
Not too well. Is we're no longer
And this nigga just kept doing it.
but I do have a few comments I'd like to make.
Make them.
Uh, so I didn't watch the shit with Will and Jada, so I don't know too much outside of what I've kind of been hearing my wife say, but I just think first of all maybe I definitely agree. August need to shut the fuck up,
Mm.
not say shit.
Mm.
Period. Ever. It's
Mm-hmm.
never an excuse to use this shit to get your, to promote your upcoming project. It's inexcusable. And I know a lot of artists do that nowadays. Just try to, you know, just say whatever the fuck to try to get some free promo. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hard to understand what comes with being embedded in that Hollywood lifestyle. And I think it's not so easy to just jump out and jump into a new relationship and start over from there just because I mean like you guys said, they've been together for decades. They both live that lifestyle. They
Mm-hmm.
both movie stars. They both know what comes with that. They both got kids. They got it worked out, right? Just because they want to step out and all that, I just think it would be more difficult for them to step away and try to start a new situation, rather
Mhm.
than come back to the home and what they know and work things out. Um, but I also feel like I've never understood the infatuation that we have with wanting to fuck celebrities, and that being
Mm.
an acceptable thing. It's kind of like a one-off situation. You have an agreement with your spouse, like, oh well, if so and so approaches me, I gotta bang now real quick, and then, yeah, that's cool, you can do that. No, that's not it.
Mm-hmm.
That's another human being. Why
Mm-hmm.
the fuck does that make it acceptable? So for me, no, I'm not with that. If I get to the point where we both have come to an agreement that we want to fuck other people, one of us fucks up, makes a mistake. I mean, we'll take that as it comes, and not that it's going to be acceptable, but if we're both coming to each other like, hey, let's just a weekend, we'll drop our daughter off at grandpa's house, and let's just go to our separate places, and get
Go
as much as you
ham.
can get. At that
Mm-hmm.
point, I'm just like, if we both have come to that, it's over. It's good. We can
Mm-hmm.
be cool. We can be friends, but there's no way that baggage doesn't come back into the household,
Thank
and
you.
Mm.
there's no
Right.
way that doesn't get brought up down the line. Man, come on now. They
Mm-hmm.
hold on to shit for months, years, toss it in your face when you don't let them take a bite of your sandwich.
Mm.
Right.
Come on, there's no way
Right.
that's not coming back. But I
That's a
mean,
fact.
that's just how I feel about it, man. But yeah, jumping
Mm-hmm.
back
Nah.
into a relationship after you break up a couple times don't work. Don't do it.
Mm.
No, that's a fact what you said. And like I get that for sure. I
Mm-hmm.
think the thing that makes it different though is the amount of time. Because the way they was talking, it wasn't on no sexual shit. It was more so like, yo, we've been around each other this long and we just ain't really vibing no more. Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
different. One thing
that's a
though
little
too,
different.
it's hard to speak on someone else's relationship too.
Also true.
Absolutely. That's why I hate that we even talking about this shit. That's why I'm
Hmm.
talking about trying to talk more about the scenario than
The
them.
scenario, yeah.
Well, I
You know what
mean,
I mean?
yeah, it's yeah, it is the
That's why I said
scenario.
place ourselves in this scenario. You know, if we blessed enough to go on damn near 3 decades of being married to your spouse, you think about all the shit you've gone through, everything you invested in that relationship,
Mhm.
and
And you
you
want to
get to a
walk
point
away
where
from
both of y'all are like, damn, like that just ain't here no more. Like that's and it's natural, you know, we see that happen a lot. But you don't want to
it.
go through divorce and then you don't want to do this all over again with somebody new. So
Hmm.
you just like maybe we should just take a break and circle back and see if this shit is still, you know, worth saving. I don't know.
Right.
That's how I look at it. Like
Is
I
that a
wouldn't want
bad
to.
thing though to take a break and circle back? Like I hear what you're saying, Tyler. Like, yeah, don't get back with your ex because a lot of people just break up and make up and break up and make up because that's just what it is to do. But what
Mhm.
if, like, we break up and you go out in the world? And again, I said, take sex out of it. If you just go out in the world and you maybe you can focus on some other stuff and get your mind together and then you come back around, I'm like, damn, I miss him or her. I miss this
Hmm.
person. And then y'all come back together and y'all are better than ever.
Because it's new again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new fling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just kind of how I look at it because we saying ex, but your ex and your wife of 20 plus years is a
Mm-hmm.
little different.
Mhm.
Especially when you got kids and family and y'all have
Mm-hmm.
built an empire together. Not even just talking about Will and Jada, but just in general.
In
Like
general,
Mhm.
we
yeah.
got we got houses and you know what I mean? Like all this that we built as a couple, you got to leave all that alone when you decide to leave the relationship.
Yeah, do
Mhm.
you
It,
walk away from it? It's more of a not even a break. Like sometimes I need to get away from you. And it's not a negative thing. Just let me restart and, come back a better person. It's just like let me go around the block, walk around, let me get my thoughts together before I'm in here just
yeah, let
firing
me
off
get
on
my thoughts together. Yeah,
you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
thoughts.
But some
Let me
people
get
eat so.
Hmm.
But E, you're saying if let me if I get it right, and maybe even Tyler too. You're saying if you do take that break, there's no way to not bring it back. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm saying, if you, like he said, it's going, like Tyler said, it's going to come back around. So
So then, is it a
two,
break or
two
not?
months, okay, it might not, but in 2 months, you might have an argument. It's like, so which motherfucker you fuck?
Mhm.
like, come on, don't
So,
go there. I don't want to hear that. Like,
Mhm.
that
right.
was the
man,
point
But
it's
of the
that's
kind of
break.
why.
like it's like taking a break from work. You
Mhm.
step
Correct.
away from all that bullshit you just had to deal with. You coming right back to it.
Mhm.
That shit hasn't left. You take. I
That's
mean,
we don't want those
same shit, man.
problems.
That's real. Still work. Yeah.
There's that.
But then
Yeah.
at that
A
point, that's
break.
when you don't need to come back to it. Then.
There you
Correct.
go. There you
But
go.
like KP said, like you take that, you clear your mind and then you figure out something. What about if you clear your mind and then you meet somebody that totally different
Mhm.
than your spouse or who you were with, and they make you feel like a whole totally different person? What do you do there? You
But
still
that was
want to
the
go
point of
back?
the break, though, right? To
Yeah.
to
To
decide.
Correct.
to
That's the whole
decide.
point. If you that a break doesn't make sense to me.
But
Just doesn't
listen to
make sense. We're not
but
breaking
listen
up,
But I mean,
and
you can't just keep going if you ain't happy though.
that's correct.
exactly.
So
But
So
the
so maybe
breakup is forever.
so maybe a break
Nah.
is not the word. I'm going back to Corey and Topanga. Listen,
Oh man.
they
what you
broke
gonna
up
do?
and Topanga dated another dude. And she realized, wait a minute, this ain't me. I need to be with Corey. So
Okay.
to Tyler point and to your point, Cutter, if I meet somebody else and that other person puts me in a better space than my spouse, my girlfriend, or whatever, then that break did what it was supposed to
That was the
do.
purpose of the break. Okay. Yeah.
Now, if
I'm
you
not
get
saying
out
no
there,
break. I'm just
now I'm
sorry. I
not
just
saying
can't
you
do
need to
the
be
break.
out there fucking and things like that, but if you
No,
do
no.
get out there and you see, damn, I was good where I was at.
That
So
was
you
also
bring
the
your
purpose of
ass,
the break.
yeah, you
Yeah.
bring your ass back with a clearer mind. Like this is where I need to be, and I need to focus on this. Now, to Tyler's point of when you take a break and that job's not going to change. So during that break, you might be in a place of, I want to be there, but I need to be in a mind space to deal with what it's going to take to be there. And so you get out in the world, you think about it. All right, when I go home, she wants these types of things done. How can I do that? Bet. All right, when I go back home, my lifestyle is going to be like this. How can I make it work? Bet. And I go back home and you straight.
For how long?
And then if you ain't straight, that's when that break turns into a break up.
Break up.
Right.
There
Correct.
you go.
I'm not
Knowledge.
disagreeing with you that it gets better
Yeah,
for you
yeah.
come back with a a clearer reset state of mind. I
Uh-huh.
agree with you 100%. But for how long? We're humans, man.
There you
We're
go.
human beings. That's human nature. There's no escaping that. And it leads to a greater question. Do you guys feel like we're meant to be monogamous?
So
Mm,
it to
I'm
that
glad you
point,
asked
Tyler,
that.
to that point, that's where conversation comes in play. I feel
Yeah.
like a lot of people don't talk. So in your point is, hey, I need some time. And then other person, well, how much time? And then I don't know. I just need to figure out this, and that. And then other person is like, well, why can't you do that with me? And the other person will say, I don't know. Let me figure it out. And then it's about how much are you willing to put up with? So you need to tell that person, you know what? If you can't do this with me, I don't want to do it at all. And then there's those people's like, you're right, go take some time because I need some time too. But during this time of us taking this break, are we fucking other people? Are we doing this? Are we doing that? Because that might be a deal breaker for one or the other. So to your point, Cutter, it's when she comes back, who you been fucking, and you can respond, it wasn't like that for me. I just needed some time to go for a walk, go for a jog.
But I think the agreement within that break should be
Yeah,
don't
What are
even
we
ask me
doing?
that shit.
it's
We
a
But
already
break.
like
Like what
we
Yeah.
I'm
wasn't
doing is what
together.
but
I'm
but is
doing.
that
What you
possible?
do is what
Yeah.
you do.
Is
Huh?
that
There you go,
possible?
Cutter. Say it again. Is
Is
that
that
possible?
possible?
So that's where the conversation comes in play. All right, listen, are we taking a break or are we done? And if we do take this break, what I do during this break does not concern you. I'm not saying I'm fucking anybody, but what I do during my break is for me and it's not for you. And if we
Right.
come back, what I did during my break is in my past and what I'm focused on is you. So it's
All right.
understanding.
Sounds
So to
great.
bring so to bring so to bring so to bring what Cutter and KP just said into what Tyler just asked about, is it possible to be I mean, would you say are we meant to be monogamous?
Yeah, the human race meant
Yeah.
to be. Yeah.
So
Mm,
as men on this podcast right now having this conversation, let's go ahead and bring that full circle. So let's talk about the root of the whole shit when they said that Jada cheated in the first place, which is why the whole break happened anyway. Like men got fragile egos. So I think
right.
the question is, are we able to tolerate that? And then to go back to Tyler's, is are men meant to be monogamous? Because that's really what it boils down to, man. Like
Why?
niggas be wanting to.
I don't even think it should matter if you're a male or a female. Like you said it yourself. In this particular situation, Jada did what she had to do. Will obviously knew. They obviously discussed it, and they came to some consensus at some point that hey, we're gonna take a break. And you said it, or she said it, and I quote, "And I'm gonna go get my payback or whatever." Like
Right.
you should already expect the same level of energy. Like, so if Jada goes out and does what she does, for example, I just in my maybe that's just the way I don't think. I just don't expect Will to go out and go be a monk somewhere
Hmm.
and think
But
about his life in
I'm saying you
solitude.
though, as a man, like, cause we know that, but like, just each of y'all as men, you take a break or whatever, you know, all right, during this break, she's probably getting dick down.
But
Like, as a man, that's gonna hurt your ego. And when
Correct.
y'all get back together, I know Tyler's saying like, you don't let your chick get a bite of sandwich, and she gonna be like, well, remember that time you fucked so and so? We know how women act, but as a
Right.
man, you gonna get back together and be like, damn, man, like
but that's
somebody
my
was
thing,
knocking
bro.
that down.
You're on a break. Why do
Okay.
you care what
But no,
she's
no, no.
doing?
Okay,
But
if
that's
this
Yeah.
is
what he's asking. Is it like
I don't. Well, then
can the
my answer is
male
I
ego?
don't care. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can take it. Will's ego took his ass halfway across the world and knocked
Mhm.
down some shit that we ain't works
Hmm.
of art.
Hmm.
Do you think his ego was bruised? Do you
Right.
think it
Right.
was hurting?
So
No.
John's answer for himself is no. What about you, Tyler?
I think he's a no too, because he shut down the idea of the hall pass. The
I mean,
hey,
okay, and I get
if
that. I
God
get that.
Himself came down and offered that dick, Tyler said, "Fuck that. No, I
Mm-hmm.
don't care who this person is. It's not allowed." I
Mm-hmm.
think Jay Carey is like, I don't care. Whatever you did, you did. Just don't bring that shit back here.
It's just my whole thing is that's why I don't understand. So it just sounds like whenever people bring up this whole let's take a break, it's
Mhm.
never going to be a break, right? To E's point, like you literally can't take a break. And if you ever get to the point where you're like, yo, I just need a break from you, I need to go see what it's like elsewhere, that's just
Uh-huh.
straight up a breakup.
That's it.
Because in some way, shape, or form, we may think, oh yeah, I just want to take a break, but you're always gonna keep it in the back of your mind. So to Tyler's question, do you think we're meant to be monogamous? How can we say like this? We've only been through generations of whatever, raised to believe that you find that one person and you stay with that one person for until you die, pretty
Mm-hmm.
much
Hmm.
until you die. And even after that it gets kind of fucked up because I mean, for example, if you talk like in like our grandparents type generation, like your spouse died, then you just were alone for the rest of your days. You know what I'm
Hold
saying?
on, real
Like,
quick though, Jay Carey, because you just said something right there. So that's a good point. But our grandparents' generation,
mm-hmm.
think of think about how many of them had families on the side.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
think
It's
of,
like
hey, yeah.
a lot of us be like, oh, we want that love that our grandparents had. We want to be married
And you
60
got a
plus
whole
years.
half family somewhere.
Yeah, the reason they was married 60 plus years is because yo papa had a whole nother
Okay.
family
He had an
and a
escape
whole
route.
nother piece that he
Yeah.
was busting down. And that's I'm not saying that's excusable, but it
But
goes to
grandma
Tyler's
didn't
point.
care.
Right.
Yeah, but
Are
it
you
goes to Tyler's
sure?
point.
I mean, you're
No,
right. You're
yes.
right.
I
You're
think
right. But
grandma
hold on.
did not care. If
No, grandma didn't want to put all that energy into another
Correct.
grandpa.
It's too much
yeah.
to do. It's too much to deal with. You got another
Mm-hmm.
family, cool. You taking care of both of them. I have no
Cool.
complaints.
Yep. Don't bring that shit here. You're fine.
But this
That's
is.
how they
I just
function.
wanted to say something. Going back
Go ahead.
to
Go ahead.
how everybody's saying like when you break up, everything's between us. Okay, if that was the case between Will and Jada, and they already knew that, why did the world need to hear their story? It
Because
shouldn't have
Because of
mattered.
August.
August.
But it's so what? We already, like y'all said, we already done established how we rolling. We already know this shit happened. We do.
Yeah.
Why do we need to share the story? Just
Clout.
that's what it doesn't. It shouldn't even be
Well,
shared.
yeah, that's where entertainment comes in.
Correct, and
Exactly.
that's why I go where it's a
Yeah,
show. It's like a show.
yeah.
There you
But
go.
that's why I
They
was
don't.
saying that's why I'm trying to remove them because we don't know what the fuck going on with
Correct.
them.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, personally, like for you, Cutter, like let's just say, knock on wood. All right, y'all decided to take a break or break up, whatever you
But you
want to call that shit. If y'all circle if y'all circle back around in the back of your mind, are you going to be able, as a man, to tolerate the fact that somebody was knocking
No,
your wife down? All right, that's all I'm
why?
asking.
Be,
that's just me. I can't think of that. Like
But you were on a
Go ahead,
break.
Tyler.
no,
I
I was
don't
just gonna
believe in
say
a break, my nigga. That's how I'm not going to
So
say
then,
it
okay,
again. There's no break. It's
so then
over.
answer this then. Answer this then. So, okay, let's say you just say fuck it and you break up, right? Then a new chick comes along. Are you going to sit there and just beat your brain up about who she used to fuck?
No,
Like, why does it matter?
I
I just had
understand
this
what you're
argument
saying,
last
but it's
night.
just the
I
fact.
just had
Like
this argument. I
it's
just had this.
As
that's
far as
just some.
I don't know, man. So
I guess I could. You can't be. You just have to be put in that predicament. Let's put it like that. Because I
No, but
can't
as
just.
men, as men, we know, and that's I
Correct.
want to hear
That's what I'm
Tyler because
saying. I'm not.
I know he's about to speak on it too. Go ahead, Tyler.
no. I was just gonna say I do think that we are not, as a human race, we are not programmed to be monogamous, and I think that it's apparent that that is the case based upon those random desires that we have that we've all had during our relationships. I'm not saying that's going on currently,
mhm.
but it is inescapable, you know. But as far as, and I've been in situations, plenty of situations where I just, kind of succumb to the temptation and You know, got it in. You know, but as far as taking that break or someone knocking down my wife, I mean, even if it is an agreed upon break, and we have that clear communication as KP laid out for us. It, when we come back to that, you are still somebody that I deeply care for and I
Mhm.
love and will
Mhm.
do anything for. I've contemplated all the ways that I would kill somebody for you.
Mhm.
So saying that, if I have done that and continue to do so, and we come to a point where we're going to take a quick break, there, I care about you. There is no way that I'm not going to think about
Mm.
that.
But
So it won't
the
be
It
no
just
break.
can't happen.
Yeah.
the entanglements.
But I
See,
Can I?
think
that's
that just
why.
I
That's
think
why.
that's just the male ego. I think we just got to admit that that's a flaw in the male ego. Like
No,
I said,
Well, then
no.
it's a flaw in the female ego
There
too for
you
her to bring
go.
it up 2 months from now when you
Yes.
exactly.
snatch
It's
back
a
the sandwich.
flaw in the human race. It's
Right.
like, yeah, we cool, but
But at the same time, I'm going to take a little bit of accountability because, like I said, what was that? That Zoom we was on, KP. What was it the other night? Was you on there? Well,
Yeah.
we had the same discussion. It's like
Mhm.
how I don't necessarily want to hear about my wife's sexual past.
Mhm.
Personally, I don't want to hear that shit. Now we'll all be sitting there, we'll be talking, having these conversations, and it'll come up. I understand as a human being, we all have a past, as do I. There's people before we met. Yeah, there's people before me. Duh, that's natural.
Mhm.
But I don't necessarily care to hear for that shit because of my personal male ego. You know what
Correct.
I mean? Like, if I've been with you this long, nigga, talk about me. You know what I mean? and I and that I might be wrong for that, but that's just me personally. And we're on the other end, she's like, well, I know everybody you've been with, and I'm friends with some of them, and yada
Mm,
yada yada. And
mm.
I'm like, and that's cool, but it's because you've asked. I
Right.
have never fucking asked that question because I don't want to know. Like,
Correct.
in me as a person that knows a lot of people,
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
9 times out of 10, I'm going to be associates with this person
mhm,
So
because that's
graffiti.
how Colorado works.
Graffiti. Let me ask you this question. So I'm similar like you. My chick knows everybody that I've been with, and
Yeah,
because she asked. I don't ask,
mhm,
but
ever.
mhm.
when it comes down to a situation when the possibility of me being in the same room with this dude, do you want to know?
No,
No.
because it's
Mm,
not my business, and
okay.
that's my whole thing. Like
And
if
then
it
what are
was
you gonna
before,
do?
yeah. Like what am I? I
Fuck
don't
around
even
and
want
ask
that.
him, like,
Yeah.
so what
Yeah,
was it like
No,
seven
no,
and
no,
now
years
no,
shit,
ago?
no. I'm
and
just
now shit
In
gonna
the
be
seventh
awkward.
grade, how was that pussy?
yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
saying in the
man.
situation of let's say you walk in the room and you see your chick
Uh,
all giggly with some dude, and then she
as a
come
man,
back and she's like,
the ma-
"Oh, that was Claude. That was just
yeah.
Cleavon." And then you
But
find out later
as a
that
man,
he used to
my
dick me
bad.
down daily, and then
But
you
For
as a
wonder
one,
why
man,
she
didn't
better
you
not be
tell me?
talking to me like that.
right? That's for one, nigga. That's for one. You better not ever say them words.
Hold on. Where did you come up with Claude and Cleavon?
I don't
Cause
know.
Claude and
this should
who?
sound that
This
sound like a
personal?
real reference, bro.
Them is his
Cla-
enemies.
Like, you know where they live? Are you in the driveway right now?
The twins, they gonna ruin your life, boy.
Yeah, I know
I
Claude and
about
did
Cleavon.
during the
Claude.
dates of
Never heard
July
those names in my life, nigga.
You got a book in front
Uh,
of you, just crossing off names?
nah, he was
Damn.
like, yeah, that was the
Get
twins
that
back in
motherfucker out of
03.
here.
but
Claude is
no,
No,
gone.
but
you
no, but
out.
to
Yeah.
reel it in though, KP, like for me, I think in that scenario as a man, you kind of already know.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? You know the vibes. And we know how men, this is my whole thing. It ain't about the woman at that point. We know how we think as men. Cause I've been on the opposite spectrum where I'll walk in a room and a nigga will be in there with his wife or his baby mama in most cases.
Hmm.
And I'm like,
No
yep.
eye contact.
In my mind, and it shouldn't be that way, but it's naturally awkward.
I
I
hit
mean,
that.
like I have a homeboy or associate that I do a lot of work with, and I know for a fact that I was knocking his baby mama.
Right.
That nigga does not need to know that because then our personal relationship is going to get really weird. So
Uh-huh.
therefore, I never even bring that shit up
Because of the male ego. We're
because of
clear
the
on that.
because of the male ego.
All right.
No, stop saying male ego. I think
Why
that
Why?
not though, KP? You don't have a male
It's
ego, no homo?
it, it be
no, I think it's
why is
more
that
of a
gay?
Because he's making it seem like he don't got like
You're
it's something's wrong
selfless.
with. Yeah, like God damn, like,
I'm
nigga's
saying
just harsh.
it's not a male ego. I think it's ego, period. Because I think women think the exact same way.
Correct,
I
but
don't
we're
think that.
male, so we're saying the
But
male ego. Get it through
yeah,
your
and
head, man. If you don't feel like we feeling right now, I don't know what to tell you. God damn.
we can only speak as men, bro. We can only speak as
That's
men.
right.
All right. Okay, so then if we go there, for me personally, as me KP, I want you to own your shit. So if we are put in this situation, if I come to you and be like, who is that? I want you to be like, yeah, that was so and so, and that was my past. And I would be like, all right, bet. But if you go, oh, that's nobody, then I'm gonna get mad.
But why do you need to know?
It's more because I
Cause,
don't
cause
want you.
then what? Then what? What you gonna fight the nigga?
No, 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 no.
Like,
Exactly.
I want you to own it because I don't want it to feel like you're trying to hide something from me.
but even if she is, like, it ain't really your
But
business. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like it's.
No,
I'm.
that's me. Man.
I mean, I hear what y'all are saying,
nah,
but
I hear you though. Yeah,
I guess it just boils down to me personally. Like I would never want to know. I guess
Mhm.
I,
Right.
exactly.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't
I
even.
don't wanna
Yeah,
know.
not. It's just like like what am I gonna do with this information? That's my whole
It,
thing. Am
it,
I gonna go?
bingo.
Then what? Because then you end up looking crazy as fuck if you're like, oh, I heard you're the one who was with my wife before me. He's gonna be like, yo, who are you? Like, what the?
You
Yeah,
sound
right.
lame
Oh,
as
I saw
fuck
you in the
coming up to
picture.
me.
Like, what? Then
Well,
what? It's
who
awkward.
You gonna sound.
said
You
when
gonna
she
sound
give
like
you that
August.
who
Right.
said when she give you that information that you're gonna run up on dude? I'm just saying, for me personally, peace of mind. If I'm in a room and I'm like, all right, I know who that is. I'm not
That
stressing.
ain't peace of mind, nigga. That's stress.
You on
For me
full
personally,
alert.
for me
That
personally,
ain't
that's peace of
that
mind.
ain't peace of mind. All
Knowing
right,
like,
so
all right, bet. I can
you
walk
at a
into
party.
a room and I know the situation. Cool. Now,
Okay.
if I see you,
No, nigga.
go
I,
ahead.
hold on, I gotta stop you, bro. Cause scenario, you
Okay.
walk into a room, it's 6 guys in there, right?
Uh-huh.
3 of them hit your girl.
Uh-huh.
You ain't gonna feel a way about that.
I'm
It
leaving.
depends. It depends
You're
on when.
leaving.
It's
Nigga,
like,
I'm
no,
It depends on when though. Is it?
I
Is
don't
it?
want to be
Was it?
around them though, cause shit, they might want to be hugging up and shit with my lady and shit. Like, come on, cuz, get the fuck on and go do the thing.
right. And they gonna be looking at you like, yeah, nigga. Yep. I
And then I'm
remember.
gonna look at you like, nigga, I'll punch you in your shit, nigga. So what the fuck, like,
And that just makes for an awkward party.
right?
But Tyler, you said what?
It just depends on when.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean, if this was prior to me ever knowing you,
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, whether or not I somehow find out about it, I don't care. That was in your past.
Right.
If this
Exactly.
shit is
Exactly.
after we have, as long as we've been together, and we
Yeah.
took that break, and now these 3 dudes are, who you
Yeah.
hit in one weekend. I mean,
Claude and Clayvon
Yeah.
and Cletus.
The triplets.
it's gonna be a little
You-
different. You know?
yeah.
No,
No,
but
but that's
to
the
your point, you said you
yeah.
don't want to know. Period.
Nah.
So if you walk in and you saw your wife, laughing and joking and having a great time with a dude, at
Mhm.
you won't care really. You're like, oh, whatever. She's just talking. It's nothing. And then the next day she comes to you and was like, oh, that was Claude. He used to, and we used to,
But
and
why
you're
would
like,
she do that? Who's
And
doing
then
She
that,
don't need to
man?
say
I'm just
that
gonna be
ever.
standing there like,
Yeah, who's don't nobody talk? I
okay,
mean, no one's doing that.
it comes
so
up though because
Why?
No,
Because
but John,
you gonna ask what was
because you're
so
gonna
funny
ask
over
her.
there? That's what
no,
you
no, no,
gonna
no.
ask her.
It's
What
not
was so
about
funny?
asking who that was and what funny is. It's just it could come up in conversation in the future, like, "Oh yeah, that was so, and we used to be this, and we used to be that." And your first response would be like,
Nobody
"Wait,
talks
what?"
like that. Who?
Yes,
so
they do. So you
Man,
trying to
Well,
tell me
no,
when?
but don't talk like that to me. And that was my whole
think
thing.
there it goes right there.
So
Because I don't want you
Like,
to.
So we're
No.
missing to you. I'm just saying, what if there's a conversation happening later on and the dude's name get brought up and she's like, "Oh yeah, that was dude." Maybe she's not even talking to you. Maybe she's just talking around you and you overhear
Yeah,
her saying, "Oh yeah,
that
that
has
was
happened.
so and so. We used to this, we used to that." And then you're like, "Oh, so you and you didn't tell me
Guys,
that."
listen, guys, listen, listen. And maybe, and you know what? Maybe I just oversimplify things. So if I do, no, I'd be glad to hear, feedback from the listeners and things out there. But just if we're talking situationally, right?
Mhm.
I did not meet my wife until she was like, I don't know, like 27. So that's a I would have a lot of fucking caring to do if I
Right.
cared
Hmm.
about every motherfucker that she may have had feelings for, or have had feelings for her, or she may have done this or that. That could be that's years worth of fucking dudes. And
Mhm.
just
Doesn't
like you
matter.
said earlier, Graffiti, we live in fucking Denver. Like it's the biggest little city ever.
Right.
So if I'm sitting around concerned that every motherfucking dude that she met before I met her when she was like 27, 26, 27, you know what I'm saying? Like she's well into adulthood. I mean,
Mhm.
I would just be on edge everywhere I went. Every time I walk
Hmm.
into a 7-Eleven, I can be like, "Oh, yo, you know her? You
Mhm.
you do? Oh, so no, then what? Then I look like the crazy.
Mhm.
I look
And that's
like
just,
the one who's like bringing up the shit because I snatched the sandwich away. You know what I'm saying? And that's to me, it's just I don't give a
it's
shit.
male
Honestly,
it's male insecurity, man. Like you
but,
said it,
but
John. You when you said, "What am I going to do with this information?" Those are
Mhm.
the exact words I said. Like it's not that I'm going to be emotional or whatever. It's just like I simply don't need this information because the only thing it could
it,
possibly do is make shit awkward.
it doesn't
That's
matter.
like
Exactly. It
But
doesn't it I,
for me, this is KP. For me, it's not that I need to know every dude that you slept with. I don't need to know anything at all. But if it comes up, I want you to own it and not try to brush it under the
but it
rug.
shouldn't even come up though.
I'm
why? Yeah.
saying if it comes up, because I've been in this situation where it's not that
If.
me asking about dudes and this and like that. Like, for example, on a Zoom call the other night, when the questions were
Yeah.
asked, I want you to be like, "Oh yeah, that was that, whatever." And I would be
And
Right.
like,
you
"All right, you're right, bet." But
so
if
you
you
just
But
try
no,
taking
to
notes
hold
and
up.
then as
no.
If
soon as the
no,
call's
but
up,
I'm not taking notes.
Okay,
But
go
here's
ahead.
what I'm saying: if you own it and be like, "Yeah, I did it. This is that. Whatever." Cool. But if you're like, "Oh, that was just nothing really happened," and then I find out more after the fact, that's gonna piss me off. Why
Okay.
are
So
you
KP,
hiding it? Why are you
we'll,
lying?
we'll I'll fill y'all in too because y'all wasn't on the Zoom. So like with the shit with the conversation, we'd be on there with men and women just talking about shit. So my thing was, all right, if we're talking about past situations or like, we be talking crazy. What's the wildest shit you did in the past? Yada yada yada. Okay, that's the past. You could bring that up. But if you specifically saying, "Oh, me and this nigga did that," and I've been married to you for all these years, I personally don't want to hear that shit because I'm like, well, damn,
Yeah,
nigga, why
yeah,
you ain't
yeah.
did that with me? You know what I mean? But the shit gonna be a little awkward. So I'm just like, person, do your thing, whatever the past is the past, but
It's the
don't give me
past.
specifics, and I'm not gonna ask any questions.
Mhm.
That's it,
No,
because
to that
you
point,
gonna you just
graffiti.
gonna stress yourself out.
To that point, I hear I don't want to know, and that's how I am. I just don't want to know. Only part that pisses me off is that like the little things that I do know, and then I find out more later on because of
but
conversations
why
like
does
that.
that piss you off,
Because
bro?
I feel like you didn't want to tell me certain things, and I'm just like, why were you?
So it's more so just a truth thing.
There you go.
But what you
I
If you
I
did it,
get it.
you did it.
I don't relate, but I get it.
Own your.
Um,
I'm just saying, own it. That's it. Own it.
so
Here,
I don't
here's the
care
bigger
what you
question.
did.
If
Just
you
own
walk in a room, if you walk in a room and you said like, all right, you see your girl, she's kind of giggling and hee heeing with dude, yada yada yada. My question isn't going to be, did you use to fuck this dude? It's going to be, are you trying to fuck this dude? And then
Mm,
that's a whole
mm.
nother conversation. Because why you go all up on this nigga giggling and kikiing and shit? That's going to be more so where my head is at. Fuck your past. Like, this nigga
What if
better go
what if
make a
what if
drink or
he's
something.
just
But that's to my
funny?
same point, Graffiti. If you walk in and she giggling and stuff like that, like you just said, are you trying to fuck this dude? And then
But
you
honestly,
find
and
out
then you shouldn't even
then
jump
fuck.
to that either, because like John just said, what if he's just funny? Like what? Like me, I don't
Ain't nobody
really
that
care.
funny.
It's whatever,
What?
nigga. Like I know. At the end of the day, you come home with me. But if you a little
Right,
too close to this nigga, I'm gonna have a problem with that nigga, because I'm like, bro, you know that's my wife. Get the
right.
fuck back a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's man shit. Like, all right, nigga, back up.
Back
Like
up.
you hugging a
But
little too long, my G.
with that Graffiti, and they had a past,
See,
that
Well,
this
wouldn't
see,
fool
yeah,
be
that
just be thinking too goddamn much.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm like, KP, bro, do you really just are you going through her yearbook or something, bro? Like, and you're just like, who the fuck was she talking to 10 years ago? Let me see what's up.
I think
that's where
that's
he
And you
got
what
just
them
you're
names.
circling pictures and shit.
I
That's
think
where he
that's
got
where
them
you're
names
missing
from.
me. I think that's where
Oh
you're missing me.
fuck.
I'm not going through your past, but if this comes up, you should be open about it. Like, yes, that was so and so. That was so and so. It
I
shouldn't
get
be.
it. I get it.
You
I
shouldn't be
don't.
downplaying it.
But you said yourself you don't want to know. So again, why on earth, if you don't want to know, would you ask, hey, oh, you were with him? Tell me about all the shit y'all did. Like,
Oh, see,
Yeah.
what
that's where we're
what
getting.
progress
You're,
is that making?
Soon as
She
see,
she
y'all
setting
says
are
she
herself
making
sucked
up.
his dick, what you gonna say? You gonna be
If
y'all are
like,
she was like,
making
I
fuck.
sucked it till I threw up and my nose bled, then what?
I'm getting arrested. If you say
you.
shit
What?
like that,
But
Jay
you
you say some.
asked.
Jay Carey,
Yeah,
you and Cutter are making it more than what I'm saying. What I'm
that's why you
saying
don't ask.
is, when a person is brought up flat out, it's not that I'm prying, it's not that I'm asking about your past, it's not anything like that. If this name gets brought up and a question is asked, if you dumb it down, that will annoy me. It's
What?
not that I'm prying. It's just if the question is brought up, whether it's I'm asking it or it's anything around it, if you're dumbing it down so that I don't know something, it comes off
Mm,
that you're trying to hide something. And that part I don't like.
What if
Now,
it's some shit
gotcha.
she just don't want to talk about? What if the nigga used to beat the shit out of her?
well, then that's something solely different, man.
No, it's not.
What
If
are you
she's
gonna do? Go
So
beat
you
him
want to
up
know a
in
nigga
in
that fucked her, but
retroaction?
you want to know a nigga that fucked her, but you don't want to know about the nigga that knocked her upside her head.
I didn't say
Mm.
that.
Or
I'm
said
just
some
saying.
foul shit about her mom or some shit. Like what if she's like, no, I don't want to talk about that motherfucker.
So
And then
you're
you get
saying
to knowing
something
why, and then
along
you're
the
like, damn, I
lines of
shouldn't even asked.
yeah.
Just
So
don't
you're
even
going on the
ask.
lines of I don't want to just bring it up because it's painful to me.
I,
That I can understand. I don't want to bring it up because I'm hiding something from you. It's something totally different to me.
how do you but how do you and I hear that part, but then so if you're saying she's hiding, then you're already under the suspicion that
Hmm.
that something's going on. That's
Right.
totally different
Right.
thing. So do you
It's
have
not.
evidence?
Yeah.
The evidence is what? She giggled too hard at his joke. Well, look, I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, you're gonna end up looking like the crazy guy 9 times out of 10. Unless
Hmm.
you have some stronger to go on. I mean, bro,
You're
I
right.
other
mean,
than
if
the
you
And
fact
have
that
some,
they
if you
used to
have
date or
something
they used
stronger
to
to go
fuck and she's
on,
laughing at his jokes.
no, no, no,
yeah.
no. And you are 100% right. But that's my only thing. If it comes off as you're trying to hide something, you're trying to keep things, that part is the part that pisses me off. Other than that, I'm like, I don't care. Like you said, the dude might be funny, laugh, whatever you need to do. Most like you might be just flirtatious in a personality, and that's just how you are, which is cool, whatever. But when it gets to a point when I feel like you're trying to hide something from me, that's the part that I don't fuck with. That's it.
Word.
All right,
Bet.
I'm
All
done
right.
with this
Yeah. We
shit.
went. I about to say we went on pretty long with that, so I get it. Um, Let me ask this final question: is cheating in a relationship a deal breaker? Are you going to get divorced if you get cheated on?
In a marriage,
Yep. Or whatever. I mean, well, we most of us are married, so yeah, in a marriage.
you know what? I don't know until it happens.
Yeah.
Mm,
You don't know.
It's easy to speak on some shit until you actually go through it.
I
Correct.
know.
You
So
don't
I
know.
know a lot
Correct.
of
I have
people
no
who are
idea.
like, if you cheat on me, I'm done. But then it happens, and then you talk.
And they
Well,
and then they cry and stay.
Yeah.
okay, can I
So
say one
again,
thing? I'm gonna say one thing though. Okay, so I know it's a breakup, but that's still cheating, right?
No, no, nigga.
Why not? You're fucking
Cause
lying.
y'all,
That's my wife, and I'm her husband. But we broke up, and she got piped down, and I knocked something down. But we agreed that we could do that.
yeah, the
We're
agreement makes it not cheating.
no,
No,
that's
it's yeah.
sound like a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. That with that one graffiti, I think that goes to what Tyler and Cutter said. Like, yeah, you went and got digged down, man. Don't bring that shit back here. I'm good. I'm
Right?
good.
Yeah. So then it's all right. Never mind. We're gonna go back to the other conversation. Never mind. I'm
close the
just saying.
door.
Yeah, we'll leave that door shut. I'm just saying right now, as a man, individually, if your wife came back and said, "Look, I cheated,"
Hmm.
how would you anticipate? Like, I know you don't know until you get there, but you can say
I,
that for anything.
I
Hmm.
mean,
In your mind, in this moment, how would you feel?
For
I don't.
me,
It,
and this is
Yeah.
KP. For me, if my current situation and she went and fuck somebody, I'd be done because of the person, the situation.
Mm,
If she went to a point, now I get she might go out, she might do things, she might do some things that I don't agree with. But if it got to the point that she fucked somebody, then I knew that was further than what she is, who she is, and I know at that point we're done.
yeah.
It's so
What
to
about?
my point, it's who the person is. Now,
Oh
there
shit.
are people who can, I went and fucked, whatever, that didn't mean shit. We're gonna fight for a little bit, but we might be okay. But my current situation, if she went and fuck somebody, I'd be done.
Mm. Cutter.
Uh, this is not my conversation to talk about. I mean, that shit ain't
The
cool.
nigga
I don't
Tyler
know.
though. Tyler left. Cutter ain't even gonna speak on it. Tyler said, "I'm not even gonna play this false game with you
I
niggas.
would
We
just
not
dip
about
on
to,
these fools real
not about to
fast.
imagine none of this shit. He had to go
That's,
make
I
sure
mean,
she's still home.
just go with how John said. You know what I'm saying? You don't know until something happens, and then
I,
Yeah,
when
I
you
mean,
when you put right in that situation, then the reaction is gonna be stupid as fuck. So
Mhm.
like
you're
you
you're
never
not
know,
about to be
right?
thinking like, oh my gosh, you did what? Like fuck
Mhm.
no, you have to be like, bitch, I'm about to punch you upside your head. You know what I'm saying?
So
I don't know.
I'll answer for you married niggas since y'all can't say
no,
anything.
no, you won't,
No, hear
nigga.
me
You
out. Hear
got
me
my
out.
arm.
Hear me out.
All right, don't you wait your turn, KP.
No,
You
hear me out.
answer the question, graffiti. You answer
Hear
your
me
own
out.
question.
Hear me out. This is what I'm thinking. It depends on the situation because I had a chick in my past who said, I think I did something, but she was like, the fact that you did it is why it has a problem with me. So if it was another
Right.
guy who did it to me, I think I'd be able to take it in a different situation, but I didn't expect it from you. So that's why I can't be here anymore. So
No.
in like y'all situations, it's like I don't know how y'all look at your wives, but like if they did it, it could be weird that like, damn, I didn't expect that from you, and that's
Of
why I
course, you're
can't
never
be here.
going to supposed to expect
Cause
that.
No,
it's
So
but
your
then
that's
it's
why
there,
your
I'm not
right.
trying to
Expects
think
it.
yeah,
about it.
but then there are certain people that you expect certain things from, and you're okay with it.
But that's a single nigga
So why
shit.
you
That's
with that hoe?
right. Right. If you expect her to go bust something down.
No, I'm not.
My bad, Jay
I
Carey. My
expect
bad,
her.
but damn.
Hey, I mean,
Oh
y'all already
shit.
said. Look, I don't know, man. How do I know? How am I supposed to know? I don't know
Yeah.
shit until it happens.
Mhm.
So it's all speculation. Again, who knows? It could be a type of situation where I could be on some Tyler shit, and I just wake up and everybody around me's dead, and I'm just standing there like,
On some
oh,
Tyler shit.
was it
Why
me?
that
Like
gotta
I
be
don't
me, man?
Right, why I gotta be some Tyler shit?
The
Don't do my guy
serial
like
killer.
that.
The
like
Don't
serial
do my
killer.
you
guy
just
like
black out,
that.
or
Don't
I mean,
implicate me in anything, man.
nah, no, you're right. Tyler, no, Tyler is a gentle soul, but Tyler knows how to take souls.
Mm.
So,
Don't do my guy like that.
but even so, I mean, again, what if she tells you and you just stand there and just laugh? Then what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like, oh shit, that's definitely not the reaction I thought you were gonna give. What the fuck? Like I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. It,
I
you
Well,
don't
genuinely
know.
think, y'all, it
It's just
depends
like
on.
what? It's just like asking like, what would you do if you went broke right now? Well, I don't
Mhm.
know. Am I gonna go try to rob a bank the next day? Am I gonna try to work it out? I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, no, it's difficult, but that's why I asked. Because like my answer, I was asked this question before. My answer is like speaking with my man brain. I'm like, you cheat on me, I'm gonna go run down a list about 10 within probably within like 48 hours,
Succession.
and then I'm gonna holler at you after to see how I felt about that
You'll
shit.
be tired.
That's naturally what my thought is. But then at the same time, it's like, damn, like it goes to KP was trying to say, like in a marriage, I don't
Mm-hmm.
expect that person to do that because our bond is a little more real than that. Like
Mm-hmm.
at this point, like you hurt my feelings as a homie. You know what I mean? Like we friends at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day. Like you did some shit that kind of just hurt me. Like it ain't about fucking the nigga. It's like, damn,
Right.
like you did that. But then again, this is where the sexist side comes in because it's kind of the opposite on the other end. Like if I did that, it wouldn't be in a personal attack. It would be for a specific reason, and that specific reason would be to get a nut real quick.
Hmm.
Versus if
Mhm.
when women do that, it's kind of from a different logical standpoint. It's like either they're lacking that emotional side or something like that. So I would personally take that as an attack. Like, God damn, you cheated, nigga. Like, if you want some dick, like I would have gave you some at any moment.
Right.
So
But
it's a little deeper. But
I mean, I
but
know that
I
we're not
will.
supposed to go back to it, bro, but that
Yeah.
fucking totally is debunked by the Jada shit. Like,
Mm.
she didn't emotionally need August Alsina.
Well, she told Will directly to his face. She was like, "It's been so long since I actually felt good."
Mm-hmm.
You
That
don't say,
girth.
shit. You
And that
say
young
you saw
punk
his
came to
face
help
when
her out.
when she said that shit. That hurts a man's soul. Like, damn, I'm just
Yes.
not making her happy. Like,
I'm
not even on
lacking.
those
I'm lacking.
sexual shit. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not man enough for
Hmm.
you, so you had to go get another man. That hurts your core.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm gonna go knock down a whole plantain of these motherfucking. That's
That
gonna
nigga
be the
said in
action I
48
take.
hours.
Yeah, that's
But
gonna be the action.
it
That
goes
list is ready already.
His
Yep.
bag is the
Yep.
overnight bag is packed, the whole bag.
it
Got
goes
the
Speaking
in
of,
case.
it goes
Got the
back
in
speaking of
to
case I
what
what,
get cheated on list.
it goes back to
speaking,
what Tyler was saying. Are we see y'all keep saying men and women. I'm going with Tyler said. Are we as a human race able to be
Mm.
monogamous? And people say, oh, women cheat for emotional reason. Men cheat for a nut. I think that should go across the board. Like
Mm-hmm. Niggas need
sometimes
emotions too. That's exactly
yeah.
why they do it, KP. I
Right.
agree.
I think
I
some dudes be
agree.
out here cheating because she's funnier than you. Or
No. Hey yo. Hey yo. Hold up. If you out here cheating because the chick made a joke that your wife ain't make, nigga, you're weird.
They gonna go home
Bro,
like,
but
damn, you
you
don't got no
cannot deny
jokes.
that it don't happen like that,
but that's
graffiti.
how it
Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
baby, you ain't funny at all, baby.
That's what how it happens. Like maybe you're
Hey,
just boring, and
like,
I can
mm,
kick it with this chick, and
mm,
she's
Yeah.
gonna go see the comedies that you don't like. She's gonna
Okay, I
go
get it.
live
I get
that
that.
you don't
I
like.
get
okay,
that. I
She's
get
there you go.
or I'm tired of coming home to the same thing every single day. Maybe it's not about sex. Maybe I'm just bored, and
that.
you go on.
Emotional.
Mm,
Yeah. So and
Now that yeah, that's a whole different aspect. And that's what I mean. Like I would feel like it was a purely emotional attack. And that's where you when you're removing the sexual aspect from it. Like
yeah,
if you feel like this person is more entertaining, this person can have a better conversation than me,
right.
or this person can do something that I'm lacking in, at that point, that's when we start talking about just going our separate ways.
Hmm.
Because, like, all right, I'm not fulfilling what you need as a human.
why
But
don't you
then, like,
just change?
Hmm.
well, you can't. That's the problem. That's kind of the thing to go
So
back to the Will and Jada shit. After 20, 30 years as a person, you're going to naturally change for sure. But what if the person I'm changing into isn't necessarily the person you want to be with
Mm.
anymore?
mm,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's
So you're saying you just can't change again.
I'm saying I can't change to be the exact person that you want me to be because you're
Yeah,
changing as well. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like people forget like we're all just growing. So when you're growing with one person,
And
to
you grow.
Tyler's point, like we gotta grow together, but what if we're not growing the same way? Like what if all right, all of a sudden now I like to do these things that you don't like to do or vice versa.
Mm,
Like
uh,
that shit gets tricky, man.
But to
who?
that
But
point,
who's 100% together? Like
no,
who?
but to that
Who's
point,
gonna be on the same page?
hold up, if it,
No,
JK.
nobody.
To that point, let's say me and you are on a vibe that's 100%, but there's this one piece
So then
that.
it's not 100%.
So hear me
It's
out.
never gonna be
It's
100%.
I
never
was
going to
just
be
about to say
100%.
that. What is going to be 100%? It's not.
It's never going to be that. So
This ain't no
let's say,
fairy tale.
yeah, we're on the
Mm,
same jig, straight up. That's everything is great, but every now and then I like to read novels. You don't like
mhm.
novels, so I'll go find a guy. Oh, we can talk about novels together. And you come back home, but everything else is great. How do you
That
judge?
exactly. All right, bro. So this just brought it full circle to close this shit out. That
Yeah.
goes back to what I was trying to say at the very beginning with the Will and Jada shit.
Hmm.
If you're with somebody for that long, and there's just certain little aspects that you're not that aren't being met. Like, all right, like you said, I like novels a lot. And you
Hmm.
don't ever want to talk about novels,
Hmm.
but I'm able to go talk to somebody about novels. Once we're done talking about novels, what the fuck else is there? I can go back to this person that we got a whole life with,
Right.
we got children, we got everything else. Like fuck them novels. I just needed to talk to that person about them novels real quick.
Hmm.
Like it's not you can't throw away all of that for like one need that ain't being met.
Right.
But if it's beyond just one need, then that's when you just gotta just wrap that shit up, beat.
Mhm. And
But
I think that's
Mhm.
where the conversation comes into place. It's like, yo, listen, I like cartoons. You don't. I can go watch cartoons with this person, but I'll be right back after the cartoon's over. Can you take that?
is that an insecurity though? Why you can't watch cartoons by yourself?
I
No,
was
it's
just about to say.
it's about I want to do this with you. So like after I watch the cartoon, I like to have someone to talk about it with. If you shut down everything I say about cartoons, then it's like, well shit, let me go over here. Hey, did you see so and so? Oh, you remember that part? Whoop de whoop de whoop. Bet I had this conversation. I come back home and everything's good.
Yeah, yeah, for real. And that's where shit get tricky though, because what if she just for real don't give a fuck about no damn cartoons?
Right.
Like you can't blame her for that.
You
No,
cannot.
and would you want to force her to give a fuck about cartoons? Like, because
It
then
won't
it's
be the
really
same.
not going to be fun.
Yeah, it's like men in
So,
sports. It's like I don't expect you to know who the greatest, rushing leader is of all time. But I want you to allow me to have that moment and not judge me for it. So that goes
mm,
to what graffiti's question is. Can you have 99% with one and then get that 1% somewhere else? And are you going to be okay with him going or him or her going to get that 1% from somewhere else?
Hmm.
mm.
But what gets tricky is when that
What's
one
the
percent
1%?
is when that 1% is sex, or
Yeah.
when that 1% is like heartfelt conversation.
Yeah.
That's when shit get different.
Funny. Hmm.
Which over time grows into be 5%,
Yep.
10%.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Damn.
where again the conversation comes into play. Is it that yes, you can go get that 1% and will it be more later? Or is it just, hey, that 1% is something small now, but what is it going to be in the future? And I think that's what Tyler's trying to go say. Is like if we can't figure this out together, then what are we doing?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. I agree.
Man,
Hey
well,
man, nobody hit the mute button on you this episode, man.
yeah,
I
man.
should have.
We got pretty close, but hey, we're growing.
I got some more to say. You want me to get
No,
it?
no, niggas, save it for next episode.
Okay.
No, that was good convo though. Shit, Tyler, you wanna close us out?
If I may try something real quick here, give me 1 second.
All right.
Oh,
That was
Got
beautiful.
Damn.
him.
I just
You're
want to
right.
see how that sounds. But no, so come with cheers. Everybody raise their glass.
Hmm.
Here's to y'all. Here's to to us letting go of whatever or whoever came before us in our spouse's lives, which is now affecting our relationships. Let go of that shit. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Here's to doing the best we can to stay out of other people's relationships. Here's to August keeping his damn mouth shut in the future endeavors.
Shut the fuck up.
And lastly, I would be remiss if I did not mention. Here's to Claude and Clavon. May they perish from this earth for KP's sake. Cheers.
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 Xfinity XFi is more than just fast. It's internet that gives you ultimate control. With the XFi app, you can pause the Wi-Fi at the push of a button. Can your internet do that? Learn more at xfinity.com/XFi.
Head to Dunkin' for a welcome taste of normal, where they are happy to do what they can to keep you running, whether that's to work, home, or work from home. Even with things running differently, they've been open and will remain open, making the coffee you like just the way you like it, with your favorite breakfast sandwiches, new snacking items too, so you can keep on running. Order ahead on the Dunkin' app for a contactless experience. California runs on Dunkin'.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you or your company are looking to jump into the podcast world, now is the time. The Plug Agency is here to connect you to the full power of podcasting. You just record and leave the rest to us. The people are listening and want to hear from you. Theplug-agency.com. That's theplug-agency.com. Click the link in the episode description for an exclusive offer.